hope so. We're live. Good morning. Welcome to Vaping Down to Dusk, where the show where we talk about quitting smoking, where we explain vaping stuff, where we hang out in the morning on Saturday like watching cartoons. And here's my co-host, Luke, Polish Vapes UK.
Hey guys, my throat might be a bit dodgy today. I think I'm come down with a cold again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But bear with me. Yes, we are back.
That's killer. That's great. This week we have LillianMiles86, 83. I'm so sorry if I got the number wrong. I should know this. And it'll be playing in a second because I have the correct name on the display. And VapinTeddy, George, one of our oldest friends on the channel. So happy to have him and happy to have Lillian. And it's going to be great. We're going to find out their vaping stories. Lillian works at Beyond Vape here in town and is somebody who is on Instagram and YouTube. And she's trying to build up a new YouTube channel, which we're going to tell you to subscribe to her. And it's going to be a fun morning. Remember, if you like these videos, like and subscribe and share them and give them to your friends and stuff. I want to know who is in the chat channel. I think it's a lot of people that we love.
Yes, there's a lot of people. I know Thomas Pavalou has just jumped in.
That's killer, our new friend with the G2.
Badass Vapor.
Yep, absolutely.
Vaping for beginners.
Cloud Casaa. Great.
Owen Ginter. Michaela, I know she's in there. Brandy. Julie, which I'm not sure if she's been in the chat before.
I don't know her. Nope. I'm happy to see you.
Vape Ross Vape, and obviously Skeletor's in there, but he hasn't chatted for a while.
Yeah, he's there. And also Mike the bassist and Brett. A lot of people. Just Flavor Hunter. There he is. And Hollow Angel, of course. We love all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are the most killer vape fam ever. So I'm having a kind of mellow morning. Deborah Marcus, good morning. I haven't seen your name before. Great to see you. Oh, and of course, Nick and Outside the Box Mods. Outside the Box Mods is great. And in a second, when we get the guests going, I'll find my Outside the Box Mod that's right over there, and I'll get it, and I'll vape on it. So what are you vaping on, Luke? Let's do this and just get that over with, because we don't want to bore people too long.
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of people would have seen by now that me and Juicy have got the G2s. So I'm vaping on the Home Wrecker G2.
Oh my God, hold it up there, Luke, until it focuses.
Alright, probably, it might.
Thumbnail created. Okay, hey, it's fine. We're done. I can just pause that and make a thumbnail later.
Got cool. The Dot Mod Petri 1.5, which I've actually made the holes a little bit bigger because it was a bit too tight. And then, as normal, the RX 200 with the 13 Heavens. Best setup for a long time.
Of the ever.
Then obviously the Able mod and the Bullet RDA, which I need to get a new RDA. I'm not that keen on this Bullet RDA, but it's working for now. Yeah, and cool. I'm vaping on the Sugar Bear clone from Cutwood and my Milkman DIY.
That is fantastic. I'm over here on my Hexohm. I'm sorry, Hexohm, stupid. It's my Home Wrecker G2 and the Overcast, which I always love, of course. And I've got some dual twisted coils in here, tons of cotton yummy. And I'm vaping right now on Swag Sauce, Stifler's mom, and this Vapor King Horgasm from Florida. Just delicious. It's very good. It's like a strawberry. I haven't deciphered exactly what's in it. So today's going to be a fun morning. We started on time for a change. Let me just talk a little bit about just what happened this week. What did you do this week? This is our what happened this week, buddy.
Well, obviously, like people know, after last week's show, I went up to AIDS, spent 4 days up there, which absolutely loved, but sadly I had to come back and go to work.
Yeah, and your schedule's all wonky now, right?
Yeah, all my sleep patterns are a bit messed up, but
yeah, that's what I mean.
Wish I could have stayed up there longer, but we've not got long. The 1st of April, we're going back up, getting ready for a Vape Jam, which I'm going to sit down with Juicy and hopefully, because we're there on the Saturday, so we might have a live broadcasting from Vape Jam.
Maybe. We're going to try. That would be so badass. And, you know, it's one of these days, if If we ever get big enough, we'll definitely travel out there. And we talked earlier, like even in November, about trying for me to go out to there and hang out with those guys for Vape Jam because that'd just be so fucking fun. And I love Aid too, but it's just I can't afford it. So, and this is just a hobby. So, one of these days, though, if you guys like and subscribe and share with your friends, then maybe we'll be able to fly around and do stuff. And make new friends all over the world because I am super into the international aspect of this, and I'm so proud that we have Greek friends and that we have English friends and Welsh friends, hopefully, and Scottish friends. I know that we do, and Irish ones, and people from everywhere. I just love it. People from England and Germany watch the show, and people from Malaysia and Indonesia watch the show too. There's people from Iran who watch this show, and I just love everybody. I think it's great. I'm so flattered that people from all over are so interested and that we appear in the search results. It makes people watch. So that's rad. Germany, Holland, everybody. And everywhere in Asia and in Japan and Australia, also another one. And it's cool. So thank all you guys. Yeah. Well, I want to get my outside the box mods, but I want to tell you guys that over here on Orbital Vaping headquarters, we have huge amounts of stuff going on. I started doing my Vape AM show, and that's 3 weeks in the can already of that. And that's every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 in the morning to 8 in the morning. You get to wake up in the studio with me, and who knows what happens. It's just you and me in the studio, and we call friends. We wake up. We go shopping for what's on sale. We look and see what's going on in the industry, and we talk to people in chat. That's my show. And yes. I'm just about to start doing live reviews on the show. And I want to remind everybody that we're one of the only full HD live vape broadcasts there is. In fact, I don't know of another one. This is 1080p full HD. The other ones are upscaled. As far as I know. Yeah, they're upscaled hangouts and stuff. And so we broadcast in full HD from Orbital Vaping headquarters. Yeah, everybody in chat is excited, and I want to apologize to you guys because I just can't quite follow you and still have a decent show for you. So I do look, and I'm trying, and especially when we talk to the guests. And that's another thing I want to get to. Our guests are going to be cool today. But before I get into the guests, I just want to say one thing. I want to shout out to Mike the Bassist, because Mike the Bassist was actually the very first subscriber to this channel after me. So that's cool. That's really cool, actually. And he watches all the shows, so I'm very happy about that. He's not like a real...
I want to make an announcement. I know
yeah,
many of us, especially people I'm seeing in the chat that I know and I speak to, already know about this. But obviously, people all know this week there was another thing that came on the news about batteries, and they actually called it on CCTV. Some guy had 18650 in his pocket with his keys and change, and it vented and exploded. Please, guys, do not be putting batteries in your pockets, or if you're going to put it in your pocket, something like this that you can put your batteries into and then put it in your pocket. Do not put batteries in your pockets, and do not use unwrapped batteries in any mod either.
Yeah. Let's underscore that. You know, he and I both have different kinds of freaking battery things. Do not ever walk out of your house without your batteries inside some kind of case, or if you have to, put them in their own compartment in a bag or something. But what happens is you'll die. So this guy didn't die, and he was very fast, but he had a pocket full of change and some keys and a battery in his pocket, and it exploded. And you can see shrapnel coming out of his clothes. Those sparks, those aren't sparks, those are change that got hot enough to be red hot and fly away. It could kill you.
We all know what the media is like. The first thing they're going to do is blame it on vaping and batteries, when it's not actually anything to do with that. It's to do with you knowing how to be safe with batteries. It's nobody else's fault. It's his own fault. So
when you put toast in your toaster, you know better than to put a fork into it.
Yep.
When you're filling up your car, you know better than to light a cigarette.
Yep.
So I mean, just use your brain, and don't forget that 2015 or 2016 is the year of advocacy and courtesy. And so this is also a third thing, which is responsibility. Am I TEing the 16? Oh, clever. Thanks for pointing that out, Luke. That's important. Don't ever use an unwrapped battery ever, or a battery that has any damage to the wrap, they're easy to replace. Ask a vape store. We can ask Lillian about this. She'll talk all about this if we want her to. And don't ever put it in your mod. Just get it fixed. And don't ever put a raw battery in a pocket. Don't do that. Change. Oh my God, it's dangerous.
Yep.
Luke wants you to help. Vape Ross Vape wants you to help with the laundry. So yeah, we probably could. Hey, I put my battery in my pocket with these quarters. That's funny. That's really funny. Well, why screw around? Why don't we invite our guests on? They're just sitting there waiting on us, and we are boring. God, I'm boring. You want that? You want to do that?
Yeah, let's bring the guests on.
Okay, good. And also, you guys in the chat, let us know if it's if we're too loud or too quiet or whatever, and we'll do whatever we have to do. And I am going to bring some guests on. Hello, you guys can unmute yourselves.
Hi.
Oh, Lily, hi.
Hello.
Lillian, lower your camera just a little bit because you're just at the very bottom of your frame. Oh, yeah, girl. Okay, looking good.
Just before we get
It's good.
into the guests, I'm not sure if you'll know, Juicy. I haven't got a clue. Michaela's asking, is it safe to vape while on home oxygen? Because she's getting mixed answers.
Yeah, well, we have a thread about that on the Facebook thing, and so there'll be an answer on there eventually. I don't know. The current answer is we don't know, so probably not. And then, so I certainly know none of us know. So,
I would err on the side of caution.
Yeah, don't do it.
As long as unless you're using an internal battery with a regulated device, something like that.
Yeah, it's all about that. I mean, if you're using a tank, anyway. So I don't think we can answer that question right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm comfortable about using that.
Let's welcome these guys. Look, right here, that's LillianMiles86, and right down there, that's VapinTeddy George. And LillianMiles86 is a friend of mine from here in town. Yeah, what am I doing talking? You guys say hello. I'm so rude.
Hey guys. So what kind of stuff do you guys want to know? Any Beyond Vape questions?
Well, hold on. We'll get to the Q&A first.
Okay,
Hi, what's your name again?
My name is Lillian. You can find me on Twitter at LillianMiles, Instagram at LillianMiles86, YouTube LillianMiles86.
That's killer. Yeah, Lillian. And also George. Say hello. Shout out.
Hello.
George. Where do you live, George?
Hello, guys. Yes. Sorry?
Where do you live? Tell everybody.
I'm from Greece.
Yes.
I live in Kalamata.
I love it. I love George. George is one of our oldest viewers and one of the first people to ever watch me live on the internet as a vapor in August when I was doing morning broadcast. It was the old version of Vape AM. Yes, I've been live vape broadcasting since August. And so George is so great, and he followed us over to YouTube, and he's just the coolest guy, and we get to talk to him. Lillian, I met here in town in Seattle years ago when I started, when I realized I didn't have to use those crappy ego pens, and so she sold me an iTaste SVD or something, and I was like, fuck yeah. And you know what? That thing still works. It's a 15-watt mod that works great. No complaints.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like whatever. I don't use it a lot, but it still works great. It's a tank. So how are you guys doing this morning? What are you vaping on? Let's get that over with, because I wouldn't like to dwell on that, but I want to know.
I am using Pale Whale's Last Light, which is an oak barrel body with a oak barrel vanilla finish. It's really nice. Got a little bourbon-esque to it.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, by Pale Whale. It's Beyond Vape's premier line.
And your big tank, your silo beast.
My silo beast, top fill. Yeah, I build all day, so it's all about the sub tank for me.
Yeah. What about you, George? What do you got down there?
Well, I have the RX200 with the 13 Heavens RDA.
That's officially OVHQ approved setup right there. Lucas put his thumb on that.
I have a Rouleau story I have to talk about later.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Put a pin in that. Tell us later. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so what do you have in the 13 Heavens, George? Because George is one of our friends that, just like us, has come on this vaping journey along, through different devices. And so when George was buying all this stuff, we've all been in contact and stuff. So it was really cool to see, he started building last fall.
I have Nerwell Blood from Fusion Vapor. I don't know if you know it. This one.
Nope.
Yeah, it's very, very sweet candy. It's very nice.
Right on. That's cool. Well, good morning to both of you guys. We're so happy to see you. So, Luke, now is the time for you to move a little bit to your left, buddy, because I made that Vaping Dawn to Dusk bug a little bit big, and so
is that better?
A little bit more. Believe me, you'll be glad you did. Don't just lean. Move your chair. Trust me.
All right.
Believe me on this. You'll be much more comfortable. Because we're relaxed here in Vaping Dawn to Dusk. And of course, I have the luxury of a widescreen. And look at Lillian sitting on her bed with a pillow or something. I know. See, that's what we're doing. We're waking up. And for those of you guys who just joined us, it's 8:22. It's Vaping Dawn to Dusk. This is the show where we talk with friends about quitting smoking and hear their stories about it. And we just talk about vaping. And we get up in the morning. That's one thing that we always have to do in this show. And so if you guys don't mind, and then maybe starting with Lillian, tell us what is your vaping story, and like how long you smoked, and how difficult it was for you, or how easy it was, because that happens sometimes too, to quit smoking, and how long you've been doing this.
Well, okay, so I'm 29. I started smoking when I was 15. My dad is European, and my mom always smoked clove cigarettes, and they were really cool, really liberal parents. And they always allowed me to smoke, and something I truly enjoyed smoking. And Beyond Vape, the first location in Seattle, was in my favorite clothing store, because I bartended down the street, and I was so pissed off they were leaving, and I wanted to check out what was in that store.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago, you were just telling me, right?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was buying these pre-filled pens from the head shop, across the way. And I went in there, and I was just mesmerized by it. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, this thing is real. Like, this is bigger than these pens. And I said, you guys need a hot girl to work here. And they said, well, give us your number. Next day, the story, that's how it goes.
Luckily, you have brains.
Yeah, but thank you. I appreciate that. And everything I know, I learned on the job, and I love my company. It's been really fun. They're great.
That's cool. I'm glad to hear that, because
and whatnot.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Go on, gal. So sorry.
No. Go for it.
I was only just going to ask you how Beyond Vape is to work for us. So that's great.
Oh, it's an amazing company. It's like family. Absolutely. Yeah. I love it. It's a great company to work for.
That's cool. That's nice to hear. Because a lot of people on the West Coast don't understand the culture of New York and stuff, and I think Beyond Vape is having to learn how to be more Seattle-y as they've come here.
Yeah, but all Californians have this view of Seattle. Well,
I say New York, I meant California.
The Seattle freeze is a real thing. Yeah, well, California is just a totally different game, and Seattle's very pretentious a lot of the times. And Seattle, you just have to know the market, know the people. Yeah. It's a totally different demographic.
Wouldn't trade this place for the world, of course. I came here 22 years ago. I'm never leaving. Well, until we moved to Armenia one day. That's fantastic. So were you smoking until they opened that store? Did you like? No, you were using the vape pens.
I was still smoking a little bit. I was just getting free pens. I was like on an 18 or something ridiculous. And it was a seamless transition. The first item I ever got was the iTaste EP pen, which we're just almost out of our complete stock at the beginning.
Hey, your audio is cutting out. Maybe try unplugging and replugging your headset in or something. Or it might just be the internet. If so, we'll just power through it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound slightly better. Yeah, it's good. You're lean back a little bit, like raise the camera up a little more. Yeah, good. You're good. Keep talking. So you were using like the crappy. Okay. These are in the days of like the 50/50 juice, and with the bad pens.
Juice. I used it, and then the first item I bought was an iTaste EP pen, and then I went instantly into a mech mod. Instantly. And I will say it is a seamless transition. Basically, I always tell my customers, vape tough. Don't vape and smoke concurrently. Now that technology's changed and there's sub-ohm starter kits, it's absolutely a seamless transition. You should, if you have cigarettes when you walk in, You don't even need them. You can take
Yeah,
away.
it's true, but it's important to remember that if you give people an ultimatum like that, then they feel guilty when they smoke, and that's not constructive. And it's really important that people know that you can smoke, but you have to just not
not
smoke.
that I feel guilty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I always say don't vape and smoke concurrently. Just try Vaping Tough, and it's pretty seamless, and it become your pacifier at that point, and you drop a habit and pick up a hobby.
Yeah, I mean that's not everyone wants to do that though. I mean, I guess it's a little different for me because I encounter a lot of people who just want to stop smoking and don't want to make a hobby out of it. And but I mean that's absolutely right. If you want to make a hobby out of it, then like Luke did, he went right to the mechs.
And I always tell people don't feel forced to go down. Yeah, that's just what I see. What happens with customers. So I mean, but I always tell people don't feel pressured to
Gosh, your audio is so terrible. I'm so sorry, Lillian, but you're really cutting up there. I don't know what it is. Your mic is on your webcam, right? It's trying to kill you.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's your internet trying to assassinate your audio.
It's probably my internet. I apologize.
Okay. If you can, we're going to try to power through it. So we apologize, guys. Hey, stuff happens. We've had worse times. Oh, my God. We've had some shows that were like nuclear bombs went off and we had to try over. We actually had to abandon a show 2/3 of the way through once. But we always have a show. This is 21. We never miss a weekend because we love vapors and we want to talk to you guys. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. It was just that your audio was getting, that's why I couldn't understand you.
Sorry. I apologize.
It's better now.
Okay. Good. Yeah, so just don't feel pressured to go down on your nick. Just do it. Do what feels best for you. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to go down on your nick.
No, and a lot of people think that they all of a sudden they need to taper down. You don't have to taper. Just do what's comfortable for you.
Yeah, exactly. I always tell people it's exactly like shifting gears in a car. The purpose of shifting a gear in a car is to match engine speed to road speed. And the purpose of nicotine levels in e-juice is to match nicotine level with your craving level, not to achieve some I've gotten to zero thing. If you want to do that, you should do that. But do it after you've quit the cigarettes. Worry about everything after you've quit the cigarettes. And then after that's over, then you can taper down. Fine, great. Thumbs up. That's great.
Yeah.
But don't feel weird about needing lots of nick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's so killer. I'm so glad to hear that. I mean, so for you, it was relatively easy this way because you wanted to quit, you decided to, and you were also exposed to a job and an environment where you had hardcore training every single day to show you what to do right.
Sure.
And that's a great advantage, and that's killer. In fact, that's one of the kinds of things the show's trying to be, is appeal to people who may be on the edge of going into the vape shop or not, where I tell them to go in the vape shop. And we demystify and try to just answer some questions so they can go in and be like, oh, okay, it's not so weird. So that's one of our aims here, is to help people with that. Mr. George, I want to hear your story of quitting cigarettes and how long you smoked and everything, because I don't think everybody has heard your story.
Yeah. Well, I was a heavy smoker, 22 years.
Wow.
And before vaping, I didn't know anything about vaping stuff and that. My sister called me one day last summer, and she told me that she changed it. She was smoking too, and she started vaping. And when she came here in Kalamata, because she lives in Athens, in the capital, and we went together, and I bought my first electronic cigarette. And from that, everything is history. I'm vaping 8 months now.
Yeah, that's awesome. That coincides with just about when we met, wasn't it?
Small story, yeah. Yeah.
So what was the first thing you got? I know this answer. I just want the people to know.
Yeah. My first one was this one, the Vapros Nunchaku. This one I bought for my starter kit.
Yeah, and how many watts is that little thing? It's a little, is it a voltage mod? I forgot how that thing works. It's a pretty popular thing.
Yeah, it's from 6 watts to 18 watts.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah.
That's very good, actually, for like 18
for
watts
beginner.
Yeah. In fact, I vape my Typhoon GT2 on 18 watts, on 17.5 watts.
Yeah, that's nice.
Now.
It was good.
Yeah, I do that now. That's awesome. So, George, that's right. So, it's been less than a year. We're going to have a big 1 year thing in the summer. What we should do is get everybody's little anniversaries all together and then just do a big thing in July or August or something. Because this channel is going to be a year old at the end of, like, July 31st. So, maybe that'll be the party. We'll get everyone's who's got an anniversary within 6 months or something, and we'll just put hats on.
Yeah,
and
my 1 year mark will be 1st of July.
That's so awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Congrats.
Yeah, and especially in Europe where it's very easy to be a smoker. In America, they put a lot of pressure on you not to, but there it's very easy to smoke anywhere you want. So if you want to quit, people don't prevent it, but it's also hard.
Mhm.
Because you're always smelling smoke. All kinds of awesome people are in chat saying all kinds of great things, and we love all you guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're just catching up, it's Vape AM. I mean, it's not Vape AM, actually. It's Vaping Dawn to Dusk. This is episode 21, and this is the show where we talk to people about their vaping stories. We just interview friends. I never can speak for some reason because it's early. I haven't had enough coffee. And my co-host is Polish Vapes UK. I want to remind everybody here that don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with your friends, because I can't tell you how many emails I get and notes and messages I get from Instagram and other places every week saying, wow, how come more people don't know about your show? Wow, you have the best show on the internet. Wow, we love this show. Wow, your channel is killer. Wow. And so tell your friends. And one of these days, it'll be great. And we also broadcast in HD live, which no one else does. And so for a little while, I get to be first. Yay! I win.
We've actually got a question from Brandy in the chat for Lillian. She's asking, what mod did you first buy from Beyond Vape?
My first mech was the beacon, the red beacon, and my first Addy was the IGO W. I would show it, but I passed it along to my little brother and gave it to him, and I was using VTC 5s on it.
Or VT. Oh, he's running VTC 5s on it now.
I was, and then I passed them along to him. I gifted them to my little brother.
Nice, killer. Yeah, that's so killer. Yeah, and Luke just had his 1 year anniversary. We had a whole show about it with party hats and everything, and that was
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
Yeah, won't be long. I'll be at 2 years. Time's going fast.
Well,
2
and
years. July for me.
we've been doing this show for 21 weeks. I mean, think about it. We're going on 5 months, getting to be 6 months, and it's like, wow. I don't have any reason or desire to do anything except do more of this. Like, Luke and I have so much fun doing this. We love meeting everybody who comes on the show, and our biggest challenge is just having enough shows to get everybody who wants to come on, everybody we want to have come on. Luke and I are going to do a building series, and I was just talking to Lillian and some of her friends, Kyle, and I forgot the other cool guy's name, the guy with the glasses. Matt. Just about getting some data points for helping do an outline for our building series, and we're just going to do a little 3-part series that tries to do, you know, how to build and stuff. 1 million people have done this, but we just get asked a lot, and it's a great thing to cover on this show. And so we're going to do that. We're going to have some amazing guests lined up for the next several weeks, and so our next few months, really. I mean, really, the list goes on. The show's getting popular, and so my messages are starting to fill up with people requesting to come on the show, and that's great. But don't be anybody who wants to come on the show can. All you have to do is message me, and we welcome people. These are just friends of ours. This is not a superstar show of rock star stuff. This is just about vaping and quitting smoking and talking about our stories and stuff.
Yeah. We've actually got another question for Lillian. Do you have a favorite build and also one that you hate to make but love to vape?
Good question. That's fun.
Yes. Okay. I hate. Okay. The builds that I love are parallel. I like on my mechs.
High five.
Yeah. I like a 22-24 parallel. That's really nice because I use my mech. I use a 26-650. It's kind of a big mod for a little girl, but I like it and it actually saved my life one time.
I'm using a 26-650 mod right now. I love the battery life and the reasonable amp rate.
Yeah, no, and they're amazing. They're great mods. Good. And then the builds I hate doing for people, honestly, anything on a clone atomizer, to be quite honest. Anything on a clone. and that has some sort of a ridiculously small post holes.
Don't say freak show mini clone. Oh, those words are dirty.
I refuse to build on most clone addies, to be quite honest. Maybe that's snobby, but it's for safety purposes. And I always relate it to handbags. And most of my customers are men. I'll say, I could go and buy a fake Louis Vuitton handbag. The fabric might look good, but I can't depend on the hardware. Who's going to come to me,
Well, we're the first people here to acknowledge that clone hardware is shoddy, but we also support clone hardware. Love it. Because, I'm not going to, it's like I wouldn't know that I want a real Velocity if I hadn't bought a couple of bad clones, and I'll buy one. And I wouldn't have bought the Goon or, any of the other really good RDAs I bought if I hadn't tried some shitty clones of other stuff before. So
yeah, well, I'm just not allowed to. We're not allowed to have clones in the store.
Of course not. I understand.
Yeah, and I have really not a lot of experience, but I've just seen really bad ones.
Yeah, I know, totally. And you see so many people, right?
Yeah, and I just see a lot of shitty ones and a lot of really unsafe devices. I just.
Well, that's the right attitude.
Yeah, and safety is my number one priority, to be quite honest. That's if I don't feel comfortable, if I don't feel someone's smart enough to vape, I will direct them in whatever way I can to a device that I think that's safe enough for them to use.
Yeah, EVIC VTC or whatever your equivalent is.
Yeah,
DNA 40. It's so
yeah.
That's the best way for almost all the beginners to go. I think even people who like the people that when you're talking about, go straight for the Mac. I think those are people who are curious about the hobby part of it, and I think that is a great idea.
Now the way that technology has changed, regulated is definitely the future of vaping for sure, and it's much safer. However, the tube mods are really kind of going to be going away and just staying toward. I mean, not going away, but they're going to be fewer and far between in shops because it's more the hobby side of it and like the hardcore originals. But now it's becoming more and more prevalent, and regulated devices are now down at price points that are cheaper. And it's
insane.
Device.
The cuboid is like a nuclear bomb shot across the bow. Sure. The cuboid and the rouleau are like Joytech is killing it.
Yeah.
And the new firmware for the VTC Mini has a custom mode that if you put their coils in the atomizer, the display changes with a little green to yellow bar telling you where not to turn it up to with no number.
Amazing.
It is brilliant.
And the price point it's less than a week's worth of smoking, to be honest.
Yep.
I mean, that's
$50 for this mod.
Yeah.
Then you get a tank of anything, get a Silo Beast or whatever. But it's like every manufacturer needs to look at Joytech and shit their pants. That's what I think. Shit your fucking pants. Because they didn't tell you they made the rouleau too.
Yeah. The rouleau, I can't believe the price point on it. And it's cool because you can switch out the plates on them, and you can make it whatever you want. They have these awesome wraps for them.
Yep.
It's a great device.
Everything about that thing. Except that it has some flaws, of course. It's heavy. Yes. It doesn't pocketable. It also has a squirrely 510 that doesn't fire all atomizers. But I'm not nitpicking. That is such a great thing. You have to recommend it to people. Anyway, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's hot right now for sure.
Yeah. George, what is your mod there? Is that a rouleau that you have in your hand?
Sorry?
What is the mod you're vaping on right now, George?
I think he has a rouleau.
Is that a rouleau in your hand?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, X200, yeah.
George and I talked about this. Isn't that one of the mods that hit Greece and everybody was interested in it because it was one of the few you could actually just put your hands on and buy?
Yeah. In Greece, it became so famous right away. Yeah.
That reminds me, I forgot to post the picture to Boxmog's Greek in Cyprus. Crap, all my Mediterranean friends.
Yeah, we've actually got a question for VapinTeddy. Someone was asking, if I can find it. David was asking. Obviously, in America, they've got a lot of brick and mortars, and they wanted to know what it was like in Greece. How many stores you've got out there?
Good question.
Yeah, there are a lot of stores. Most of them are in capital in Athens and in Thessaloniki. And yeah, you can find small stores in any other city in Greece. Yeah, there's a lot of stores, I think. Yeah. And online, of course, online shop you can do many of them.
And you have a little bit of trouble with your DIY, but it's getting easier to get the stuff now, right? Did you find better sources to get your DIY stuff? Or how's that going?
I stopped for a while because you know what, I want to learn more about the DIY. I want to start DIYing. So yeah, because I don't want to spend money for buying juice.
Yeah, and like we always say, oh, by the way, audience, I forgot to tell you guys, George is one of our partners here on the OVHQ Crew DIY. So, we have a show every month. Luke and I are going to try to do the next one next month. We told you guys we do it every month, but this one might be 5 in case we can't get this stuff. Anyway, we're still committed to that. We have 2 great recipes lined up. Oh my God, I can't wait. Seriously, should we tell them, Luke, or not? Yeah, no one watches my show. We're going to do, right? No one watches this. Tell them what we're going to make.
What, for the DIY?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to keep my recipe that I've got. So I'm actually going to make the sugar bear clone, which is the cutwood recipe.
Yep.
And I don't know if you've found it yet, but I'm going to give you the recipe for the Rocket Man clone.
That's right. I'm going to make the Rocket Man clone. And so this is going to be the sickest thing. And we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to, like we always do, we're going to give away some of the DIY on the show. And then I welcome you guys to get your shit together and pick a recipe, doesn't matter what it is, and mix with us. Get your stuff together. We're going to wake up at 8 o'clock and make some e-liquid. It's always fun. Those are some of my funnest shows. I really have a great time doing that. Luke and I just have a blast. Because all we do is sit there and talk to the audience and mix juice,
We had a question earlier. I think it was from Kevin Murphy for you, Juicy, but this can be asked obviously to everybody. What vape shows are you planning or going to try and go to this year, if any?
I don't know. We're trying. Oh, you mean if you mean physical ones? I'm looking for anything in the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to go to. I have a car, so anything around here. But the thing is, around here it's real tough. VapeCon International canceled their Renton show. I went to the one down there in I forgot the name of the city, but it was an hour and a half away with my great friend Abinai Photos, which look on Instagram. He's great. And it was a freaking pain to get down there. But Lillian, where are some vape cons happening?
That's a great question. I know that I think Vegas is happening right now. I might be mistaken. Right?
Too far.
Yeah. ECC, I mean, those are the big ones. There's another one up in Canada coming up soon, I believe.
When?
I'm not sure. I forget the name.
Oh, is that the Toronto one?
Yes, the one in Toronto. Yeah.
Because
That's
I've been talking.
Be a big one.
Oh, I've been talking with Blaine, and this is a more answer to the question. I've been talking with Blaine, Flavor Hunter, about driving up to Vancouver, and I know they have a Toronto one, and they're supposed to have a Vancouver one this year sometime.
There is going to be one in Vancouver, I was told, and then within the next 6 months.
Oh, then we're going.
Yeah, for sure.
Going.
Yeah.
I need a passport.
Yeah, go there all the time.
Can I get a passport in 6 months? Yeah. I have all the documentation. I need to get on that, though, because we'll take Lillian, too, and then we'll go. Probably Abinai Photos will want to come, too, maybe. And then the 4 of us can hop in the Honda and pop up to Vancouver and go to the VapeCon. And then Blaine might be able to drive down from Saskatchewan.
One of my favorite cities in the world. Vancouver is amazing.
Yeah,
so many of my customers come down from Vancouver, or from BC, just all over.
Vancouver is, I think, the coolest city in North America.
I agreed.
It's so cool. You have to go there to understand. And the thing is, it takes a little time to sink in. Like, the unpretentious people, they're like beautiful but nice.
Yeah.
And you realize that it's not like a light American city, like they sell it to you in America. What it is, it's like a European city.
If you've traveled, it has a much more international feeling. The terrain is absolutely the same, as what we have in Seattle, but it's a completely different feel. Like I said, especially if you've traveled, BC is the spot to be.
It's Europe and America.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's right there in BC, and people are so nice there. It's unbelievable.
And the exchange rate, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. So cheap to go up there. And
sorry to go on like that, but so we're going to try to go to Vancouver, BC. I'm trying to go anywhere around here. So what we're going to do is maybe I'll put up a little webpage that has a list of what we're going to do, and I'm trying to put up like what Luke's doing and what I'm doing, because Luke's going to VapeCon in London or whatever too, and or wherever.
Yeah. I am indeed. Blaine did say he said he's going to fly. Maybe you can get in your private jet, Juicy, and just go with you.
Yeah, we'll just take the helicopter up there, and it's fast enough to get to Saskatchewan and then back to Vancouver, and Because I'm in orbit, so I just go bling, bling.
Yeah, I'm open to do. Obviously, I'm going to Vape Jam. That's all paid for. Hoping to do the whole weekend this year at Vape Fest when they actually announce dates, which that'd be cool. Not doing NEC because it's the kids' birthdays and we're actually doing a party. So I did want to go to that one because I know Matt and V from Suck My Mod are going, but kids come first, so not going to that one.
Nicest guy. Matt is one of the MV's awesome. They're very nice people. I've met them a couple times. They're great cool. People.
That's all I've ever heard.
They're from Seattle, or he's from Seattle. She's from Montana. But yeah, side note, I've seen him in the shop. He's been to my shop and then at an event at Vape Meet, and people treat him like a celebrity. He's just a low-key dude, just totally normal, super chilled guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would love to get to Belfast as well if I could. That's in November, I think. I know Grim Green said he's going, and I know Matt and V are supposed to be going to that one as well.
Belfast, November?
Yeah, I think it's November time.
So,
and there is one in Paris as well, which if I can get to Paris, I might go to Paris.
I love Paris.
When is Paris? Because I'll be in Paris in July or in August.
I'm not sure. Last year it was. It must have been around about that time last year.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully it correlates with my trip.
That would be cool. There's no way I could afford that. Traveling to Europe in the summer is so fucking expensive.
Yeah, well, 3 of my roommates are from Paris, and so I'll be staying with them.
Yeah, well, it's just the airfare is crazy. I mean, I've been to Europe a lot, and it's like, holy shit. I usually go in the winter. My whole theory is go a lot, not for big periods.
Yeah.
And so airfare matters. But in fact, we're trying to. One of the reasons why, one of the things I'm doing too is trying to put some shows and stuff together with Skeletor because it only costs about $300 to fly from here to Florida. So if I can go to maybe this year, I'm going to try to go down to Florida and do some vape cons down there too, and maybe get him up here to come to something. There's nothing up here, so go down there, and so that's cool. So wherever it's cheap, but I'm dead set on sometime getting over to England or something to meet up with you, Lou, because we can have a little reunion, get a camera, fucking. I mean, it'd be so fun. Must do.
Yes.
Must do. Couldn't afford it right now, but we're gonna keep working on it. I just want to say hi to everybody in chat. Also, I want to remind you guys, go to the Facebook group. Find us on Instagram. I'm GG Jones HQ. That's LillianMiles86. That's VapinTeddy, and that's Polish Vapes UK. And on the Facebook group we have, it's growing pretty well, and that's where a lot of the scheduling and all the messaging, and that's where all the exclusive stuff goes. And when I just want to shoot the shit, that's where I go. So if you're interested in talking to me or asking questions or whatever, go to the Orbital Vaping Headquarters Facebook group, and that's a very informal place where we just, you can say whatever you want there. No one's going to attack you or anything. That's our little place on the web.
Yeah. Someone's saying that Paris might actually be next month, and apparently Grim and Matt are going, but I didn't think it was that soon, but it could be.
It is soon. Wow.
Especially with because I watched all Grim's videos and I haven't heard him say about it.
I haven't seen any press for it.
That's one of the problems in this industry, is that the whole thing is so that it's really difficult to get messages of cons and stuff to people, and they're very regional.
Yes.
So I find out about stuff that's over. Yeah, I wasn't trying to attack you earlier when I said you should tell me when stuff's coming up. I was trying to say what I was really trying to say is that gosh, this industry is so weird. It's really hard sometimes to find out stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And that's one reason why I'm going to add a segment like this for Vape AM.
I know why they do it.
Is it because of just the silo, because of the cash grab? They're trying to
No, sorry to cut you off. It's because of the crowd. There's 2 different crowds that it attracts. Mm-hmm. The people like us, the advocates, and that want to keep vaping. And then it also attracts the vapors that get into a pissing contest of, I built to 0.1, blah, and that's just ridiculous. Just all those type of people.
Right, I call them the bros, but that might not be a fair characterization. It's just people in vaping who are just not really they're not in it for quitting smoking and helping people.
Yes.
It's okay to be a nerd.
Yeah.
I like a .06 build. I like a .05 build. I just took one off my Overcast. I know what to do, but I educated myself. Mm-hmm. And then I started doing that, and then I don't brag about that because who cares?
Well, like the Rouleau I was talking about earlier, I've had a guy vent 3 sets of batteries on the Rouleau because he wants to build to .01, and it's why do you need to do that? What the fuck is your problem? Excuse my language, but it's
You can say fuck. We say fuck on this show.
Okay, why the fuck do you need to do that? Like, how cool do you think you need to be? Okay, that's not what it's about. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt somebody else. I don't give a shit. Get out. I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, that's what I can give you I can give you some professional advice. The only mod that I know of you can build safely at .01 is this one in my hands, the Homewrecker G2, because they say you can build to .007. And here's the thing: I'm not taking their word for it. I'm in contact with the legendary Sneet from England, and he's going to send me coils for my new Goon RDA, and they're going to go on here, and we're going to try to get to .007. And I'm going to press this button. And then we're going to see what happens. And it's because I don't know how to build a .00 anything. I know how to build a .05, and that's like my 4-wrap dual 24, which is fucking delicious, delicious vape. But that's if you know what you're fucking doing, and if you know what your device is, and you know all your addies. That I have an authentic RDA that's very high quality with good connectors. It's an Overcast from Florida, which is excellent. And so this is what Lillian is saying: is don't be a moron. Like, educate yourself. Ask questions. I don't know everything. I ask questions.
Be safe. Safety is one of my number one.
Yeah. What vape shows are you going to, George? Are you going to any this year?
Yeah. I just wrote it in the chat too. Yeah, I'm thinking to go in Vape Expo. You said the NEC in Birmingham. I'm thinking, I think I'll go on May.
Yeah, that's the one I can't make it to, but it should be really good. I didn't get to make it to that one last year either. Apparently they did have a good show. My local shop, they actually went to that one.
It would be my first event. I don't know, to see how this going. I like it.
Yeah, I did hear that one's. I did hear the one at the NEC is a lot more laid back, where the Vape Jam event is more like American events.
Yeah.
So depends what sort of atmosphere I guess you want when you go to a Vape Expo.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope it will be good.
That's interesting.
Earlier, I saw a question from Flavor Hunter, Blaine. What is my favorite mod and juice?
Good question.
Until now. Yeah, a question. Of course, it's the RX for now, the RX 200. And my favorite juice is from Lost Fog, the Streak. I think you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is my favorite for now.
Right, that's an interesting thing you say, because my taste changed too. If you had asked me this question last summer, I would have said Looper, which you can attest to that, Lillian. I've gone into your shop all the time going, how much Looper do you have? You're like, oh, we're out. I'm like, oh, what do you have?
And you're like, well, selling liquid in the United States.
Yeah, it's amazing. This stuff is amazing.
I know we're getting near to the end of the show. There was another question for Lillian. Have you ever tried DIY juice or tried making DIY juice?
No, and the reason is because we're not allowed to have any liquids in the store that are not made in a clean lab setting that are heavily insured, since there is no FDA regulations. And so I've never tried it. My best friend, Alina, who works in the shop with me, she makes juice. I do try hers. I only do DIY try DIY juices if I really trust the person and I feel like that they know their chemistry and science, because I don't always trust everybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's very smart. All of my shit is on YouTube. You can see exactly how I mix, and I'm live all the time. So I'll give you some of mine if you'd like some.
Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, I've had your stuff. It's great, and I trust that. But a lot of people I don't trust.
Yeah, that's a good point, because my girlfriend was like, "God, you tried that? Like, who knows what it have in it? PCP? Exactly. You have no idea." And I was like, "Hey, you're right. It might have
just made some lucky charms in the toilet. There's nothing wrong with it."
Well, like that young kid Kyle I was talking about earlier. Like he didn't even know how much nicotine he had put in his. He wasn't, and it's like, I'm not going to try that. Thank you very much. I don't want to get sick.
So I absolutely agree with you, and I do tons of DIY. But for me, it's so I can go buy juice and stuff at the store. Somebody said something interesting. Badass Vapor. By the way, I want to shout out to Paulzilla X. I'm so glad you showed up. That's so awesome, dude. Thanks for watching the show. And Badass Vapor, who was one of our friends on Twitter. The guy retweets the link for the show like 20 times a week, and we're so grateful. You're such a nice guy. You don't have to do that. So thanks, and thanks for everyone who shares our links and anything, because all that does is bring more attention to the channel, and that gets us to justify spending more time making more good stuff. And so, Badass Vapor said he got an email from Joytech: buy a cuboid and get the second one 25% off. You know, what is it about the cuboid that I actually want to do that? I don't want to buy multiple other mods.
Well, we sell it. If you get the Cubist tank, it's 20% off the tank.
That's killer.
Yeah.
And you know that Cubist, I haven't finished the video, but Phil Basardo just did a video where he goes through the RTA for that, for the new tank. Because that's the reason one thing that happened this week is I ordered one of those tanks that was on sale for like $15 or something on one of those flash sales this week, and it'll be here next week. And I'm interested in that RTA a lot, because I'm always interested in RTAs on tanks that are good. And that Cubist tank has got good reviews, am I right?
No, it does have good reviews. I like it a lot. Have you guys seen the new Griffin?
Not the new one.
We just got it. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got like very similar like to a Velocity deck. Really nice, really cool RTA.
I like that. Oh, okay. So I almost forgot that Lillian is on a schedule and she has to go to work, and so we are going to stop the show pretty much right on time. So if you guys would like, just in order, Lillian and then George, you guys just say whatever final thoughts that you want or whatever you like to the viewers.
George, you can go ahead and go first.
Sure, go George.
I want to say just thank you for having me in the show, my first live show. Yeah.
This is your first live show?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It was my first live show, so yeah. I was a little bit nervous, but it was okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're welcome, George. We love you.
Yeah, thank you. George, you did awesome. This is my first show, too. Thank you guys for having me. I'm so grateful for that. Eli, I love you. And then I just can't, follow. Go ahead and follow me at on Twitter at LillianMiles, Instagram, LillianMiles86, and YouTube, LillianMiles86. I'll be doing more videos and whatnot, Q&A, questions, all sorts of different types of stuff. Any Beyond Vape questions, you can come and ask me. I'm happy to answer anything, or any of your guys' needs or wants, whatever you guys want.
And Dennis, we'll find out what is the best RDA for the Brass Monkey later. We'll do it on the Facebook channel.
Oh, I have the Brass Monkey.
What's the best RDA for it? Quick.
It is the Brass Monkey RDA is the best.
There you go.
For it. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's the best one. That's the best one. I've tried other 26650s. Sorry, nope. That's the best one. Standard Functions as a great company. They machine great products. They actually make motorcycles. Great guys out of California. Their machining's impeccable. Just love them.
That makes me more attracted to their products. Good machining is key to me.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. Very important.
It's a big difference between Chinese and American and European. The Europeans are supreme at machining, and Americans are excellent at machining, and the Chinese are getting better but crappy at machining. They're capable of doing it well, but they don't a lot. Americans do very, very good work, and like Austrians are like crazy aliens.
Really?
Oh, my Orkonigan, you wouldn't believe it. I'll show it to you one day. You'll be like, wow.
Nice. Yeah, it's crazy. Huge.
Yeah. So we want to thank everyone. Tell everyone to like and subscribe, and tell all your friends. Follow us on Instagram. We're on Facebook at Facebook.com/groups/JuicyJonesHQ. And no, /JuicyJones, no HQ. But all those links are up here. And we just want to thank you for tuning in. We love all the fans, and we have a great time doing the show. I want to thank Lillian and George for coming on the show, because you guys are great. It was a fun time.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a fun time. I wish I could stay longer.
Yeah, it's so killer. I wish we had more time, too.
Thank you, guys.
Of course, you're welcome, everybody. So I'm going to click on the stop button, and then it's going to get serious. We're going to vape out, guys. Let's do it.
Nice.
Thank you.